You are being invited to participate in a collective tarot reading, and if you are one of those people who likes to give energy back to your tarot reader, throughout this video I will give you some options as to how you can give some energy back to me. If Without further ado, let's dive into a breathing exercise so we can clear our minds and ask our question. So breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, so now we do want to ask our question. Now, I like to ask how or what questions because I believe that we're here on this planet to have a human experience, and when we ask when questions, when will I get more money? When will I get my next relationship? When will this happen? When will that happen? It takes away from the human experience. So I believe that by asking how can I achieve more money? What can I do to pay attention to in my current relationship? How can I attract a new relationship? What should I be paying attention to myself to give myself more love? I know that these questions are kind of longer, but it gets to the point and direct. And I believe that the tarot can be used to enhance our human experience. So that's just, everyone has their own way of doing tarot, but that's just kind of mine, and that's how I was taught. And that's what I'm gonna go with. Sorry, I'm weird. It is so early in the morning right now. I am tired, but I'm ready. Let's do this and see what comes out. Okay, so we've got a lot of swords today. Swords is the element of air, and air is associated with our thoughts and our communication. So we're going to start with the Queen of Swords in reverse. Now, the Queen of Swords, to me, I picture her as Lorelai Gilmore from Gilmore Girls. She's very witty, very smart, willing to give you bad news when she needs to give you bad news. She kind of pokes at it. She can kind of give it to you softly because she does have a feminine energy around her in order to do that. So she's thoughtful, smart, somewhat of a good, at least Lorelai wasn't, but at least somewhat of a good communicator. With the Queen being in reverse, though, we have blocked, healing, delayed, or internal energy. So it feels a bit, for lack of a better term, it kind of feels more black and white. It doesn't feel very lush, green, Mother Earthy. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if there's a word that I'm trying to come out here, but it doesn't feel very caring, I guess. Interesting that the card is in black and white in order to get that point across. But that's something to keep in mind when you're trying to answer your question that you asked the tarot today. It just kind of feels like maybe there might be a little bit more negativity going on toward these thoughts and communications toward whatever it is that you're going toward with the question that you've asked. Now, on the other side of the cards, we have the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is about mental rest. I've explained this in a past reading, but with these, it's usually associated with the passing of someone. And when people are buried with their belongings, it's like they can take those belongings into the afterlife. So with that being said, it's more like this person is resting, and this is all the battles that they've won, but they have one sword here just in case they can rise up if they need to protect themselves in the afterlife. Now, we're not looking at the afterlife here. We're looking at a very much so restful area. It's still very peaceful, but you never know. There is still a hill here that someone could just an army could just start coming on and just attacking this person who seems to be very much so relaxing with their day. So that's why they have this sword next to them. So overall, I would say take a mental rest. I would almost say block these, not even block them, block, delayed, healing, internal. I would maybe take a healing aspect with the Queen of Swords today. Only because if you're blocking some things, going on a little bit of a mental rest, I would stop those wheels from turning at this time. I think that those wheels need to kind of take a little bit of a break, and use some healing words of affirmation. Maybe even if you need to, use that Queen of Swords to talk to somebody about how you can heal together, or what you need to do together to heal. Let people know how you are healing. But don't be so direct. I wouldn't be so direct with your thoughts and your communication with whoever or whatever you asked your question about. Be a little bit more open, and just kind of stop thinking about it. Maybe you need to do something. Maybe it's time to do an action toward your goal of what you've been going for. I'm going to leave it at that. If you want to leave what you got out of these cards in the comments, I would be super cool. I would love to hear that. And then I've got one more piece of exchange, energetic exchange, that I'd like to go into after we close out. So let's close out with this breathing exercise, and then we'll close out the video. So breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, so I've actually explained a little bit about or shown in text about how you can give me back some energy for this tarot reading. However, I'd like to go into a little bit more detail with that, and I also make it kind of a little bit of an experience for you. I would like to ask for $5 as an energetic exchange for this reading. But if you've gone through the steps, or not the steps, the actions that I've suggested in the text, following, liking, all that stuff, take off $1. So if you've reposted the post, take off $1. If you have liked the post, take off $1. If you've copied the link, take off $1. If you followed me, take off $1. If you have favorited the video, take off $1. And then it's a free one, and you've passed on some energy. Then you've had an energetic exchange with me. So that's all. And I guess I will see you in the next one.